Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for November 4th through 8th, 2024. I feel like it's been a long time since you have said it, but I really can't believe that this year's almost over now. We were talking about this yesterday where it's like Labor Day happened and now we are seriously just talking about Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing has happened in between.
Right. Well, Madeline's already on to December because December 1st is her birthday. So every day I get a new text with a countdown to when her birthday and Christmas is and new ideas of crap that she wants. And I'm like, can you stop? I'm not ready. I'm just not ready.
Right? No. I'm actually really surprised. We did not receive any Port Charles pipelines regarding the show.
Oh.
I feel like most people are probably just with us on what the heck? Like what's happening right now? We did receive a few more personal emails. I don't want to share the details of them, but it just seems like, and I was at a thing yesterday, and I'll talk more about it during reality check, but it seems like right now a lot of people are going through some really, really, really hard, multiple difficult things at the same time. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't write in, if you did write into us and share, I mean, we love you guys. It's not just about GH. It's just the thing that brings us together. But, hope that the rest of the year and the upcoming year are better.
Yes, I agree. So much crazy stuff.
Yeah. I'm like, there's not really, I don't know. It's so cliche and I feel bad saying it like that, but a lot of it's just those things that you just don't know what to say.
Right.
So, no Port Charles pipelines. We're just zipping along here. This upcoming Thursday, we will talk more about Lucky and Liz. Neither one of them was on this week.
Nope.
So Lucky has not found out that Sam has died yet.
Nope.
Yes, he did.
Did he?
Liz told him.
Are you sure?
Did he? No, maybe not. Maybe she didn't.
I don't think he did.
I don't remember.
I really don't think he did.
Okay. Because what I'm saying in my head was...
I feel like he would have comforted Liz a little bit more because she was on the team. And, I mean, obviously she was friendly. I don't know if I'd call them friends, but friendly with Sam because of Jason and the kids and all that stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, I think we would have seen more of him, asking if she was okay. Yeah. I don't remember seeing him at all. Yeah. I feel like we remember Lucky sightings, okay? It's a highlight of our week.
Well, and I feel like there would have been a deeper conversation rather than just Sam passed away because Lucky and Sam also had a relationship. And I feel like he would feel a certain way about her saving his sister. So yeah, maybe we didn't. So, but yeah, this upcoming week is Lucky and Liz part 7, Lucky part 10.
Oh my gosh.
This is going to be more than Alan. But we also, no, because Lucky and Liz are the same thing, but we're still in the 90s.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just move on to Hulu headlines. I feel like this actually just might be a quick recap anyway. I feel like everything was not short and sweet, but everything kind of wrapped up to some degree that it's not a lot to really talk about. I don't know. We'll still figure out how to make it 3 hours long.
No, we'll try not to do that. And that way you don't have as much editing.
That's true. So on Monday, Sam's loved ones reel from news of her passing. Robert and Holly revisit their past. Sunny supports Dante. Alexis has a request for Kristina and Molly. On Tuesday, Sasha and Willow have it out. Kristina is horrified. Eva issues an apology. Carly is stunned. Jason and Diane have a heart-to-heart. On Wednesday, Anna delivers grave news. Carly seeks Brennan's help. Michael is suspicious. Dante opens up to his parents, and Portia meets with Isaiah. On Thursday, Jason states his terms. Anna is skeptical. Brennan fears for Carly's safety. Lucas confides in Brad, and Alexis opens up to Sunny. And then on Friday, Rick pays a visit to Anna. Brooklyn and Chase make a big decision, and Tracy strategizes with Cody. Tracy strategizes with Cody, and Holly is rebuffed.
I hate Holly right now. I said it last week. I think Ryan was tired of hearing me this week every time she got on screen. I was like, would you just stop? Just stop. And he's like, you really hate that woman, don't you? I was like, I hate where they're at right now. Like, Robert has moved on. He is in a relationship, and Holly never sticks around anyway. Why do we have to keep listening to her, him and Hall, around the fact that she's in love with him and she wants him to say that he's in love with her so that they can do what? Go nowhere.
Well,
It's
and
so
she
stupid.
even said it last week, maybe, that, you know, she was always, that's why she didn't tell him, because she always had this perfect memory of them. And so I feel like she's also romanticized. Yes, they had the relationship that they had, but they've had
Mm-hmm.
more of a non-romantic relationship
Right.
than they did have. So it's like she's romanticized all this quote unquote lost time. And it's no, you made your decision, and your decision was you chose yourself over him. She even said that she was
Mm-hmm.
selfish. But
Right.
and he cannot say like he regrets all the time that they weren't together either, because then that means that he regrets Robin and he regrets ever being with Anna. And
Right.
it's really not fair for that.
Mm. No, I think she's like a little kid. She wants him just because she doesn't know that she can have him. It's like
Oh
Diane
yeah.
is playing with her toy, and so now she wants it back. But the
Hmm.
second that she has it, she's gonna leave again.
When she kissed him, I was just so,
Mm-hmm.
so mad.
And then Diane walks in, and like she could see that there was something going on. You could see the lipstick on his
Holly
face.
wiped her mouth.
Right. And she's like, oh, here's those papers I needed to give to you. And then leaves and is all upset. And it's like, Diane, you shouldn't have to fight for your man. And you already gave him the ultimatum. Like, we're too grown up for this. Let's not play these games. But don't let Holly take away something that you want, because she's playing a game. And
Right.
hopefully Robert's not stupid enough to fall for it. I mean, it's always ultimately the man's decision, like we've talked about in all the circumstances of men and their women, but just don't be so stupid.
Well, and especially where Sasha wants nothing to do with Holly suddenly becoming, they're not going to have this happy little family.
Mm-mm.
Even if okay, so fast forward, basically, in short, exactly what everyone said would happen happened. Sidwell came after the diamonds. He winds up kidnapping Sasha right out of the Quartermain kitchen while she's
But
sitting there
that,
talking to Carly after she found out about Sam. And, they're
yeah,
just
that
talking
was
about
crazy.
poor Dante and the kids and this, that, and the other thing. And then Carly's like, what the heck? What are you doing? So then Sasha tries to tell Sidwell, she really does not care that much about me. You are not going to get your diamonds back. She does not care about me that much. She's a con, this, that, and the other thing. Sidwell's like, well, like mother, like daughter, because I don't believe you. And she may not have raised you, but you definitely have her skill set, which I don't believe. I actually legit thought that Sasha was going to help him.
Mm-hmm.
And, Holly goes to Robert and is like, I'm in trouble. I went to my hotel room and it was thrown. And there was her blouse was on the table with a knife through the heart where it would be on her blouse. And then Carly goes to Brennan and is like, some guy just took Sasha, said I can't call the cops. And Brennan's like, oh, well, you have your own resources. She's like, yeah, here's the deal. Sonny and Jason just had something else go on right now, so I can't go to them. So you're kind of like third on the list.
Right.
And so then he called Anna, or Anna called
Mm-hmm.
him. Anna showed up because, she
Yeah,
had
she
gone to
may
see
have just showed
Robert.
up.
And that's when she had gone to see Robert and Holly was there. So Anna went to go see Brennan and was like, so Sidwell's back. He wants his dime, or not even back. He's not from Port Charles. Sidwell's here. He wants his diamonds, kidnap Sasha. So then Brennan helps them. Holly and Robert come. Jason shows up. They're all like, Jason, how long have you known about these diamonds? He's like, I just found out about this the other day. Okay.
Right. Right. He's like, I don't want to talk about it. And
You know,
then it isn't Anna that was like, oh, so she went to Sunny to fence the diamonds, blah, blah, blah. And
mm-hmm.
it's like, mm-hmm. You guys can
Yep.
connect the dots.
Yep. I was actually really surprised that Jason bought into it, because when Holly went to him and said, I need the diamonds, they kidnapped my daughter. And then he's like, yeah, so I already know everything about Sasha. What is it that you want? Because you could tell she was starting to do the sob story thing where it's,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, is me and my own decisions got me here, but you're supposed to take pity on me.
Right.
He's like, okay, how are we just going to get Sasha? Like, let's just get there. So then he took the diamonds to Sidwell. And Sidwell has her at like one of the warehouses. And he shows Jason, like proof of life after Jason threw him a diamond and blah, blah, blah. And Jason just like hands over the diamonds and he's like, okay, what room is she in? Because he had started a countdown on a bomb that he also had in the room. And meanwhile, Sasha is trying to take off an air vent cover, which for her, using a letter opener, trying to get the air vent off.
Right.
And she's in room 533 and Jason gets there just in time. And meanwhile, Brennan's outside asking for an update. I definitely thought that Brennan was going to wind up in the hospital because then there was an explosion. And then next day we just see Brennan coming into his office with Jason and Sasha. And then 2 seconds later, Holly and Robert come in. And Jason's like, yeah, your mom actually gave up the diamonds for you, just so you know. And then Holly's telling Sasha about how much she loves her and that she's the most important thing in her life ever. She's not.
Nope.
No, she's not.
I was waiting for Sasha to call her out and be like, oh, did you pretend like you cared now because my dad's here and you want to impress him? Because if this would have been back home, you wouldn't have given the diamonds back. You would have come up with some scheme to try to rescue me and keep the diamonds at the same time.
Exactly. And that's Robert was calling her out on they're not your diamonds either. You mined them, he mined them illegally and you stole them does not make them yours.
Right.
Like you still did something. And then she was talking about how she wasn't good at making lunches, but she always provided for Sasha. And he's like, and your sources were always on the up and up.
Right.
It's just, I don't like it. I think that the thing that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like you're kind of on the same page, is they're doing these things and they're making us dislike what we used to love. It's when we did the 411 about Holly and Robert, or Holly, we're like, oh, I understand now. Like they're so great. But it should be like a Luke and Laura. They're not together anymore. They're still going to love each other no matter what, but they're not romantically together.
Right.
Holly just flits around the world. It's not like she's single.
No, she's always playing this game. And right now it makes me angry because we do remember them in the storyline that we read about. And it was like, oh, it was this great love and they protected each other. And, it was complicated this way. And it was like a good storyline. And now I feel like most of us have had a love in our life that you like remember fondly, but you don't go back and try to recreate it 400 years later because it just doesn't work. And she's walking in like, please tell me things haven't changed, blah, blah, blah. They have changed. It's been 30 years. They've changed. Like, move on. And if I didn't have 100 reasons to not want to be with you before all the shenanigans that you got me mixed up in, now you're telling me that we've had a daughter together all these years and you haven't bothered to say anything? Yeah, I think we're done. It's time to move on.
I cannot believe how calm Robert's being over it. And that's the thing. So they showed the flashback of, she was like, I saw the hate that you had in your eyes that one time and I didn't want to see it again. I am loving seeing the clips. I wish that they gave a little bit more detail because I couldn't remember exactly what it was that she did that made him have the hate in his eyes when she looked at him.
Right.
I didn't go look it up
about either.
Right. It's at least tell us, remember when I told you blah, and then I saw the hate in your eyes. Like, give us a subject here.
Yep. But no, I'm over it completely.
So do you think she's staying or leaving?
I mean, I would hope, the way that it sounds like she's trying to make promises to Robert and to the fact that her daughter's there, that she would stay. And that would be great because if they gave her a good storyline, like I do like Holly's character apart from Robert and we love the actress and whatever, but I just don't see how they're going to write that anyway. Like, why would she stay now when she hasn't stayed all these years before? I just don't understand, especially since the diamonds she did have to give back. So it's not like she's sitting on a mound of money that she can say, oh, I'm going to settle in Port Charles for the next few years because I don't have to work another con. I'm set for life, blah, blah, blah. She just lost it. So
yeah.
What's she going to do? Ask Robert for all the back child support he would owe her if she would have ever told him about his daughter? Live off that?
No. I'm on Team Robert with that one. No.
Absolutely. But he would. He's so like, dun-da-da with her. He'd be like, okay, here's the check.
She didn't raise Sasha, so she shouldn't be getting the child support.
Right.
It would have been her mom.
Right.
So, no. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like that we then see Willow get mad at Sasha and Willow learning that her mom is alive. And so now it's making Sasha such a liar because, Willow's like, but we bonded over the fact that our moms were dead. And I'm sorry, it's kind of stupid to have Sasha say, well, I just always wanted her to be.
Right, right. That's not the thing. You haven't experienced the same loss. Even if she was dead, if you wanted her to be dead, you're not experiencing the same loss as someone who doesn't want their mother dead.
Right, exactly.
It's so frustrating. And Willow, just in her ridiculousness, the whole week are just ridiculous. She's begging Michael for forgiveness at the end of last week or whatever. They instantly fall onto the couch and hook up and whatever. And now they're going to move forward and everything's fine. And she was totally honest with him, even though we all know she wasn't. And then 5 seconds later, she's upstairs in the playroom with Drew and they're ripping each other's clothes off. And I'm sorry, but I feel like the death of my baby daddy would not put me in the mood to be ripping somebody else's clothes off. So I'm not sure how that's, Drew and her both are like, we were overcome with grief, blah, blah, blah. I have never been so overcome with grief that I'm ripping somebody's clothes off that I absolutely shouldn't be with. Like, that's not a comfort. You're creating more issues for yourself.
Well, and it's not where they aren't already having an issue with them being together. It's one thing if, okay, I'm not saying this from personal experience, but I mean, I do know someone that after they found out that they lost somebody, they had relationships with somebody else. But I mean, and like that's a comfort thing, but there was nothing.
Right.
She wasn't abandoning her family. She wasn't cheating on her spouse. She was like, it wasn't any of that. It was just they found comfort together and it just wound up happening.
Right, so. Exactly. I'm not saying that loss doesn't make you sad and then you turn to the people that you have in your life because that is definitely a sense of comfort. But no, I don't think that that's the moment to be turning to someone that's not your spouse and then use that as the reason for why it was okay. Like, oh, this just happened because we were so overcome with grief. Besides the fact that they're in the kids' freaking playroom. Like, how are you?
Isn't that where she first hooked up with Michael? Isn't that where she cheated on Chase with Michael?
Oh, I think you're right.
When they were painting? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. Well, I guess Willow really likes that playroom. But again, to me...
It's not that kind of a playroom, Willow.
It's a red room.
Oh, when she picked up that bear, color. I'm like, why? What did they do to the bear? I'm like, why are we picking up the bear?
I just don't understand. Like, again, trying to put yourself in that same like mind frame and same placement. I would never be in Madeline's room and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so overcome with lust for someone that I'm hooking up in her room without thinking, oh, I'm destroying my whole life. Look, I can look around and see my kids' stuff of who I'm going to end up screwing over here. And so you're in your kid's room and in your kid's playroom and you're not thinking about the fact that, oh, if I do this, I'm going to blow up my whole family and ruin my kids' lives. I don't understand. I don't get it. And when it was with Michael and
it's not
Chase,
like she said, I was looking for Scout to see how Scout was doing. She was seeking out Drew.
Yeah,
100%. She was looking for Drew.
Yep. And at this point, if you're really trying to prove to your husband that nothing is going on and you are just being his friend, why is the door even shut? Like, I'm walking into the playroom and finding you, giving you a hug, and then I'm backing up away from you and like standing a nice distance with the door open so anyone can see I'm just there as your friend.
Right.
But nope, I just ick to the whole thing. The fact that it happened, where it happened, when it happened, just ick. And you forget there's a nanny cam because it can't just be Michael who has access to that.
Ooh. Well, I mean, and that was the bear, right? That's what the bear was. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. Because at first, seriously, when they were done and she suddenly decides to tidy up the playroom, and I'm like, I don't even want to know why. I mean, there was already stuff on the floor to begin with, but she like targeted that bear and put it back up. So I'm just thinking, something happened at one point where that teddy bear came falling down.
Okay. All right, maybe because they didn't show us the teddy bear falling down. Because I was going to say the angle that the camera was at was straight across at them, so I just thought it was like a baby monitor sitting on the deck.
I think it was the bear. I think.
Oh,
just
that's
because
extra.
that's where it would have been. But exactly,
Yeah,
like at some point,
ew.
I mean, I have a lot of thoughts, but it's not that
I know
kind
people
of.
talk about hiding nanny cams in the bear because you don't want the nanny to realize that there's a camera. But in the Quartermain house, I feel like it would be an open access. Any parent that leaves your kid here, like, hey, there's a camera, so you can check in on them at any moment to see that they're okay. So as a parent, you would know I'm not hooking up with someone in the kids' room because everyone can have access to that footage.
So what was it? It was Willow or Michael came to the Quartermain, saw Brooklyn, and they started talking about Sam and everything. And he asked her, have you seen Willow? Like, I tried calling her. She's not answering, blah, 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 blah. Scout comes in. She'd had a bad dream. She went to find Drew.
She can't find her dad.
I'm sorry. Why was Drew not sleeping on the floor of his daughter's bedroom?
Exactly.
Like, even if Scout didn't fall asleep, even if he had like fallen asleep, like on the floor, like, I don't know.
And again, I would assume that the kids' rooms are on the same like hallway as the playroom. Even in the middle of being caught up in activities, you hear your kid get out of bed. Like as a parent, we all know, even if you're in the middle of activities, you hear your kid get out and you're like, oh, got to shut down activities because the kid's out of bed. So you're going to tell me that Scout got out of her bed, most likely walked past the room that you were in, and you didn't hear that? You're not extra tuned into where's your kid and what are they doing hours after they lost their mother?
Right.
The whole thing, like I said, just gross. But then, she finds a way to sneak back in the front door, and Michael's
she goes down the back stairs so she can come in the front door.
Yeah, and Michael's like, "Hey, where have you been? I haven't found you. Like, I haven't seen you." And she's like, "Oh, I fell asleep on the couch at the main house or at the gate."
Little does she does not know that he just told Brooklyn he went to the house and she wasn't there.
Right.
But then he clocks when Drew comes in and Scout's like, Dad, where were you? You were gone like mommy. And he's like, oh no, honey, I was just keeping myself busy, and looks right at Willow. Michael clocks it.
Yep.
Drew's like, why don't we watch a movie? Willow offers, well, let's go see if there's something. So Michael just excuses himself, says that he has to return some
make a
calls.
Call. He was like following up on something.
And then he looks at his phone and there's a notification from the nanny cam, whatever it was. And it's Drew and Willow going at it.
Yep.
And Willow comes out and is like, what you doing? He's like, nothing.
Good for him for being able to keep composure, because at that moment I'd have been like, just watching an interesting movie myself.
Right. I think if Scout had not been there, but it's just like, do you know who he's exactly like? He is exactly like Ned.
Yeah.
You know, Ned was talking about, he's like such a big, like Ned thinks about the things. He kind of, you know, it's like how he got the PI and everything. You know, he didn't go confront Drew about it. He got a PI. He's like, no, we're going to play smart here.
Right.
So yeah, Michael's like Ned, I think.
Yeah. I mean, they were raised with that same business sense, cut to the point, like, don't believe what the other person says, find concrete evidence one way or the other. And so it only makes sense. Check in the camera.
But yeah, I mean, what's he going to do? Is he going to,
I don't know,
blow up Drew's campaign?
See, I feel like that would be stupid. I would let Drew continue with his campaign. Hopefully he's going to be elected, and then he can go away to DC and Michael doesn't have to deal with him.
Exactly.
Because if you mess up his campaign and he has to stay, or he doesn't have a reason to leave Port Charles, then what have you really done for yourself?
So I think that Drew would still leave.
I don't know. How's he going to leave, though? Because he has Scout now. So I know that later in the week we saw Alexis talking to Olivia and saying how, you know, she's so grateful that the kids could stay there, and she'd come to check on Scout, and Scout was sleeping, and she knows that Scout's dad lives there and blah, 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 but that she wants the kids. And you know that it's going to turn into Dante saying that he wants to keep the kids just because he was talking about how's he going to keep their family going and keeping everything together and blah, blah, blah. So I don't see how Drew is just going to be like, you know what? Yeah, you guys go ahead, take her. I'm gonna leave town. It's fine.
I mean, he's not caring so much right now, so.
No, he's not. But just for the way that it would look, especially if he is going to continue in politics, I don't.
Well, I was going to say that would hurt his. But parenting is not a political tool.
It's not. But I mean, you heard him talk about taking out on the campaign trail and stuff. So
yeah, that's true.
Is he really going to be like, "Oh, I just left my daughter at home," especially if it's with Dante,
after she lost her
right
after she lost her mom?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know what they're going to do with the storyline. The whole thing is just it's ick. I don't know why we needed to go here.
We didn't.
So,
I did like Tracy going to Cody. She had no idea about the whole cousin reveal. And, she's like, these kids are eating stale crackers and boxed beverages. Where's your irresponsible girlfriend? He's like, yeah, so that's over. And he tells her why. And then she was like, oh, you mean because, or he said something about how he just pulled off a con himself. She was like, oh, you mean about the fact that you punched Drew and all that? And she's like, why didn't you hold out for $100,000? You know that he owns Aurora.
Yep.
And a lot of ELQ.
Yeah. She said the same thing we did last week. You could have got way more money.
Yeah. Well, he said 100 originally, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. I guess maybe. Yeah. I think he did. I think you're right. I think he said 100 and then Drew talked him down. But if he would have stuck to it, I think Drew would have gone back up.
Oh, yeah. But I loved that his feelings were actually kind of hurt. He's like, he just assumed that I could be bought. Like, he didn't even ask what I was going to do. He just assumed I was going to go to.
Right. Which at that point, then, yeah, I'll take your money because you've insulted me too.
Right. And Tracy said she's going to teach him how to invest and that the two of them are just, or Cody's going to keep his eyes on Drew. And when he strays, they will be there to take advantage of it. And Tracy said, though, that Drew is a real Quartermain because he has inherited the family trait of cheating, and all the men have, except for Jason.
Yep.
She gave him a compliment.
She did. She'd never say it to his face, but she did.
I know. But she's like, but he doesn't remember the first 20 years of his life. It's okay. Or he's not off the hook yet or something like that. But the night that Jason and Liz were together that made Jake, he and Sam had broken up, right?
I don't know if they officially, I think they were both under the impression that they were broken up because it was such a big fight.
Okay. So that was the first thing that popped to my mind. I'm like, no, he cheated on Sam with Liz. But then I was like, oh, but wait, is it a Ross and Rachel situation here?
I feel like they would say that they were broken up. It was just not a nice thing to do because it was so fresh and like Liz was taking advantage.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I don't think it was cheating.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't really know where to go from there either. We kind of just flew through a lot.
We go back to Alexis and the fact that she was there talking about she wanted to take the kids.
Oh, yeah.
And before that, we saw her have like a very nice moment with Sonny, and he showed up and was like, I got here as soon as I can. What can I do to help? And she was talking about being stressed over planning the funeral and not knowing what to do. And he was reassuring her that she was a wonderful mom and a great grandma to those kids, and whatever she did would be right, and all that kind of stuff. I like seeing them as friends and him really being there for her.
Mm-hmm. And
oh, go ahead.
I know. I was just going to say, I'm like, and he was trying to remind her that even though you had to give up Sam, they talked a lot about nature versus nurture this week between all the different families, between Drew and the Quartermains, Sam and Alexis, and Sasha and Holly. It was because Alexis was feeling guilty that she missed out on. She said that she looks at Scout sometimes and she wonders if that's what Sam looked like at that age. And she missed out on her childhood and she missed out on her teen years. Sonny's like, yeah, but you got to know her as a young woman and, you guys got a good relationship. Even all the bad stuff that she went through, she still somehow wound up being just like you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So before that, we saw them at the hospital. Like Alexis had said to the girls, like, you need to stop fighting, you need to get along, this is a big deal, whatever. And then we saw them talking to TJ, and that felt weird to me. Like he was so much. I don't feel like he was the right doctor in that circumstance. Like where was Portia or somebody to handle that? He should have been on the other side.
I think they were there as Molly's husband, not as a doctor.
Yeah.
But then when they said something about the autopsy, and he's like, "Oh, that reminds me. I need to turn around to the left, take this bag, and give it to you." Like it was so robotic, where he's just like, "Oh, that's right. She was wearing a ring."
Yeah.
Oh, because Molly said, and they had just gotten engaged. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, that reminds me of her ring." And then he says, I took it in case you guys wanted it. And then poor Kristina's flipping out over, don't open my sister, you know.
Yeah. It was just, I don't know. It was just another moment to see them argue, but then calm down because Molly was like, how do you expect them to get answers if they don't do an autopsy? Like, that's what has to happen. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, and Michael was at the hospital consoling Kristina when Willow found out about Sam and tried calling him.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had to just go sleep with Drew.
Right. I mean, you didn't pick up the phone. What did you expect me to do?
And then
we saw Lucas being super upset and Brad coming in and being like, listen, you can talk to me. Like, you don't have to just pretend. And Lucas being upset and saying, you know, I feel like this is my fault. I want to know what the autopsy is going to say. I want the answers. And I feel like Brad really was just trying to be a nice person. Like if they end up back together because they provide comfort for each other, then I'll kind of question it just because the fact that they've been apart for so long and for such good reason. But it would be an honest, like that would be an honest way for people to end up together, is that he's consoling him and then he feels like Brad's the only one that he can talk to, and then they keep talking more and then they end up, like, I don't want them hooking up tomorrow, but if they continue talking as friends and then end up back together, I would be okay with that. And then Carly comes in and is like, get away from him, blah, 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 blah. Don't tell me that you guys are getting back together. And Lucas is like, what are you talking about, back together? Like, we talked for 10 minutes. He was listening to me be upset because my sister's dead.
Right. And it was very obvious that Lucas was also embracing Brad. And I thought that Brad was doing a really good job. He stayed around the corner when he overheard Lucas and Portia talking. Portia was nice and gave him a little bit of information and was just like, he's really struggling, you know. And I felt like Brad was more or less really trying to stay back and just kind of keep an eye on him. I really don't think that when he went into the locker room, I don't think he was expecting to see Lucas standing right there.
Right. But once he did and he saw how upset he was, then, I mean, how do you ignore that? And him and Lucas were together. Like, Sam was Brad's sister-in-law. I'm sure that he's feeling some loss too, even if they weren't the best of friends.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I was disappointed with Carly for her to be so ridiculous. Like, calm down.
Right. Oh, and then poor Rocco talking with Laura in the chapel, saying about how he had a moment where he thought that if either Lulu or Sam had to live, please let it be his mom. And Laura was amazing. Comfort. She's like, that's your thought. And that's a normal thought, that you don't want anything bad to happen to your mom. You know? Right. And she's like, none of this has anything to do with what you were thinking. You know, your thoughts did not put this into action.
Right.
And we heard it talked about a few times. Dante talked about it, but Rocco talked about it first, where Sam never treated him like he wasn't hers. And I guess they had their own little secret handshake.
Yeah. I do feel bad.
Yeah.
I do feel bad. Like, I don't know what they're going to do with the living situation with Dante and stuff. But yeah, it has to be hard on the kids that they did live together as a family. And now the idea that they would all be broken up to go to their dads. And that's just it.
I like that they're all at the Quartermains right now. I think that makes the most sense, just because, you know, Drew does live there. Jason has easy access to be there, and Dante's living there with them now too. But I feel like the kids are all old enough, especially the boys.
Right.
They should get a say in what happens, like where they wind up, what their situation winds up being, because I feel like it's almost extra traumatic to remove a brother from Scout to, you know, and Alexis said about how Sam had her concerns about Jason being around Danny too much. And She doesn't think that he's ready to raise a teenage boy. He was a single, early 20-year-old something man raising a baby by himself.
Yep.
He can handle a teenager.
Absolutely.
Especially a good one like Danny, you know?
Right. And when you say by yourself, like, yes, they would be living together by themselves. They would be having day-to-day interactions by themselves. But it's not like anyone is going to force the rest of the family away from the kids. Like, you're still going to have that Quartermain interaction. Alexis is still going to be welcome to come over whenever she wants. And like, he's going to encourage those bonds and that help from everyone else. He's not going to pick them up and like move them to a different state or something.
Right. So I don't know. I kind of really hope that they I wish that Alexis had at least presented it as an option, not as this has to happen.
Yeah.
Which I felt like she did that more to Olivia, but she mentioned it kind of because as soon as Dante said, I thought we could all stay here for a little bit. And she's like, okay. Like, she didn't argue. She let it go. And she's like, yep, that's good for now. Yep.
It was silly that she said to him, like, did you and Sam talk about, did you have a plan? Like, no, they weren't even married. Of course, they hadn't had a plan about who would get custody of their kids if one of them died. They were living, assuming that they were going to be together and fine for years to come, at least until they did get married. You know, I know they hadn't really talked about it, but I feel like most people assume that's where they're going to end up. And so that would be the point to have the conversation. Right now, they're not like, oh, hey, if I die, you want to keep custody of my kids, or should I give them to their dad?
But that's the other thing, too, is that each of their fathers are present in their lives. So it's not like, okay, let's say that this had happened while Drew was out of town after he had won the election and was living. And then it's, okay, well, we want Scout to stay so that it's more stable for her, so that it's, you know, less confusing. She's not also moving now and all this and that and the other thing. But I mean, I'm not surprised that they didn't have every detail worked out, but I feel like especially when we've had the thought, I know JD and I are married now, but like we've had the thought about the fact that what if something did happen to me and he's been there day to day.
Exactly.
For the past 15 years.
Right.
You know, it honest to goodness would not make sense for their biological father who doesn't know their friends' names or the schools that he knows the schools that they go to, or doctors or anything. Yeah. Teachers' names. Doesn't know the teachers' names, doesn't know, the doctors, you know, anything like that. Like, that doesn't make sense. Sometimes the non-biological is, and that's the thing is, Olivia asked Dante for a list of all the foods that the kids like. And I'm not saying that Jason and Drew don't know that information also, but it really is more important about the kids, you know, and I doubt that Scout's also going to want to lose her brothers right now.
Right.
So I understand why they're talking about it, but at the same time,
I just feel like because none of the parents are jerks in this circumstance where someone is coming in and being like, I'm claiming my daughter now and making it an issue. I don't think it needs to be an issue yet. And Alexis was kind of like, well, the sooner that they get stability. And it was like, there is no real sense of stability at these ages with their mom dying. Like, being around family is the stability. It doesn't matter where they lay their head down at night.
Right. And perhaps being in a bigger house with a whole bunch of other people and extra help is the more stable option, you know?
Right.
So I thought it was nice that she at least thought about it and offered, though. But at the end of the day, I don't see that that's the best.
Yeah, when she said, I don't know that Jason's ready to raise a teenage boy, I thought, really? You think that you're more capable of raising a teenage boy? Like, you haven't had any sons and you're not a spring chicken anymore and like haven't had kids in your house. It's not like Sam and the kids lived with you or whatever. So why would you think that yours was the best house for them to be in?
Right.
But
yeah. Oh, I thought it was sweet when Danny was sorting the candy and he was taking out the stuff that Scout didn't like and kind of putting more in the stuff that she did like. And Carly asked him, well, how come? She asked him something about how he knew when Jason hadn't said anything. And he told her, you know, we went to go see Mom to show her Scout's costume. And when we got off the elevator, Grandma Alexis had a certain look on. And he's like, I knew. And he's a teenage boy.
Right. Right.
You
He
know?
may have not have known that she was going to die, but he definitely knew something was not right.
Right. So I did like that Carly was also like, if you need anything,
Mm-hmm.
come here.
Yeah.
And I do like that everyone's reminding them of how many different people they have, that they all love them. And
Right. Right. They have lots of family.
hmm I did like when Drew finally decided to pay attention to his daughter and she was drawing that picture of them in the park. And he's like,
Mhm.
love doesn't go away when someone dies. She's like, yeah, that's what Uncle Jason told me.
Right. Exactly. Somebody else has already covered this.
Right. Oh, on Monday, when I wish they had just thrown in this one line where Maxie asks Spinelli, so how is it that, we got out of taking the kids trick-or-treating? And then he's like, well, Max said that he would take them. And, he loves spending the time with them. And, the kids love it because they're definitely going to eat more candy than we would allow them. And she's like, you mean then I would allow them?
Yeah.
And he agreed. But I wish that he had said, we talked about it. And this way you and I can spend some time together for your birthday.
Right. Right. Because they did say Bailey Lou was asleep, which I still felt was a ripoff because that kid is still old enough that she would have enjoyed some type of festivity just for a little bit, even if they only took her to like the neighbors' houses. But okay.
Right.
We should have got to see her in a costume. It was ridiculous that they just cut that out of there. But they did explain it away with she was asleep already. And so, yeah, they should have been celebrating Maxie's birthday.
Mm-hmm. But instead, Jason knocks at the door and is obviously something's wrong. And when they go in, Spinelli's like, well, do we have to go back in the offices? There's more privacy. And he's like, no, Maxie has to hear this too. He tells them that, Sam had the heart attack. And immediately Maxie's like, okay, thanks. I'm going to go to the hospital and see her now. And he's like,
yeah.
And Spinelli lost it. And he's like, she's the first person in this town that gave me a chance.
Yeah.
And Jason's like, yeah, we have her to owe for our friendship. And yeah, it was hard seeing Spinelli like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And even Maxie said like Sam was part of the reason why she started seeing Spinelli as like an option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, I don't like this. I still don't understand why this is the choice that was made. And I don't like seeing everyone so emotional. And you do have to think about some of these emotions are not just playing character. Like they've worked with this person all these years. It's upsetting that she's gone.
Yeah.
And that they did it in such a dumb manner. Like her death wasn't even exciting. And I know that sounds mean to say, but as a soap opera watcher, like she didn't even get to fall off a boat or fall off a cliff or pew pew or whatever.
Or have her be in a car accident and then finding out that she was able to be a donor, but then also finding out that she was able to donate all the rest of her organs to 4 other families. Right. And so she was like, something like that. And then maybe they could have given her the honor walk and something. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I get it. Nina doesn't know yet, right? Nina and Ava don't know yet.
They do not. That's why they were having their girlies night out dinner, apologizing for being mean to each other, and so happy that they're back to being friends.
And Ava put together that Nina was keeping Drew away from Willow for more than one reason.
Mm-hmm. Even Ava seemed like grossed out by the fact, even though her and her daughter shared a man, that that's what Nina was doing.
I still don't think it's right, but it's like they were all aware though.
Right.
It was still messed up. Never mind.
I don't feel like there's any good circumstance. We've said this before. Like, you can find younger men attractive, in my personal opinion, our personal opinions. We still would not be hooking up with someone in the same age range as our children, and especially not if they had been in a relationship with our children. So,
Correct.
No way around that ick feeling.
I don't know what Nina's going to do when she finds out that. Well, see, and that's the thing. Ava's like, you need to tell Willow about you and Drew before somebody else tells her.
Mm-hmm.
And Willow is just going to hate herself even more now when she finds out that, wait a second, now you both lied about everything about with your relationship.
Yep.
Does Willow even know that they kissed?
I don't think she does. Because remember, she kept going to Nina for advice, and Nina never offered up like, hey, that's my friend too.
Right.
There's a part of me that wants Drew to be gross enough to go hook up with Nina again after this, just to like the slap in the face that Willow needs. Like, he is not a good guy. He is so ugh. And you need to take a step back and realize how dumb you're being.
It's so gross.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jason told Diane.
Yeah, that was sweet too. They had a nice heart to heart about Sam being his love, and then she like vented to him some, which she wasn't going to, and he was like, "Come on, Diane, like I know you just as well as you know me. Something's bugging you. What's wrong?" And so then she vented to him about the whole Robert and Holly situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I like seeing their friendships like that.
Yeah. Oh, and then Curtis was comforting Portia.
Oh, whatever.
I'm sorry. She walks in the bedroom. He's like, "Oh, honey, did you have a bad day?" "Yes, Curtis.
Yeah.
Your friend died."
Right.
"I'm having a bad day."
Right. But
I did like Curtis checking on Alexis and her sobriety.
Yes.
And she said that Sam had to have that intervention for them last time, and she will not dishonor her memory.
Right.
Yep.
No, I liked, well, that was what made me so frustrated with the Portia scene, though, was we just saw Curtis be that close with Alexis. Like, they are that close of friends. And then she walked in and was like, "Oh, I've had such a rough day." And he was like, "Oh, yeah, hun, the day must have been so rough for you." And it took her a while, I felt like, to kind of respond back to him like, "Oh, you must have had a hard day too, because this is your friend and you're friends with her mom and all of that.
This was your business partner."
Yeah, Portia's just
former business partner. Yeah. Well, and she doesn't want to find out. Well, because she had talked to Dr. Gannon also to find out if there was anything that Lucas possibly could have done. And he's like, "I can check my notes, but I called all of the doctors, all of his colleagues at in Boston, and they all said that he was a first-class surgeon, and I would definitely not have performed the surgery with him if I had gotten a vibe that he was not."
And everyone in the room with him during this surgery said it went off without a hitch. He did everything right. Everyone did.
Mm-hmm.
So why is Portia looking for a scapegoat?
She's so worried that she's going to find something come back with a surgeon error.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
Nope.
I don't know.
They need to give her some type of new storyline, because I really don't like anything that she's doing.
They really do. Oh, what else? Oh, Rick came and talked to Alexis about asking. So Rick doesn't know that Sam's dead now then.
I don't know. So, excuse me. I felt like he walked in to talk to Anna and was like, tragedy aside or something like that. He said something that made it like, oh, okay, he does know, but he still needs to stick on the topic of Ava.
Yeah.
But they didn't get into it. I mean, how could he not? How could Molly not have told him, "Oh, hey, my sister died.
Your ex-lover died."
Yeah.
"My sister, your ex-lover."
Right. Ugh.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like he did know, even though we didn't see him being told. At least I don't think we saw him. Did Liz tell him?
Maybe she told him when she told Lucky.
No, Lucky was not there. I don't think she did.
I don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah, this week wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't exciting, because that sounds disrespectful to the fact that we were dealing with all the stuff with Sam still, but it really wasn't. It was just sad. Every day, another person finding out and being sad, and then trying to figure out what to do with the kids and whatever. And then we had to throw in grossness with Willow and Drew. And I feel like that sums up the whole week.
Well, and Chase and Brooklyn are going to get more serious about making a baby.
That conversation to me was weird too, but I'm happy that they're.
You don't have that conversation until you've been trying for a little while and not been successful.
So I feel like in this day and age, because everyone is so conscious about their health, that the way you're supposed to do it is go to your girly doctor and say, "Hey, my husband and I, my partner and I, whatever, we're going to try for a baby. We just want to make sure everything's good in there before we get started. And if you have any tips." and they do your exam and they tell you yes or no and what course to take. And they'll say like the basics, like every woman of childbearing age should be on a prenatal vitamin, whether you're planning on having a baby or not. So are you taking your vitamins? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Blah, blah, blah. And then they may say to her, hey, it's easier if you get an ovulation predictor because, then you can kind of pinpoint exactly when you should be hanging out together and whatever. And those kind of tips. But she was like, it didn't sound like she had gone to her doctor yet. It was like she did a Google search and she was like, so I found out some information. We can get this, this, and this, and we should do this, and we should do this. And he was like, yeah, before we get to like the clinical side of it, though, let's try just to have fun with it and see what happens first. And I'm thinking,
right.
Yeah, not that ovulation kits are a bad idea. They're awesome, but I mean,
they have no reason to think that they need to take those extra steps yet.
Right, exactly. It like if I hadn't had any kids and I was starting at the same point as them, that is the extent of what my Google search would have been was, okay, I'm taking a prenatal and maybe ovulation test just because you don't have to take them every month. Then you can say, oh, it's about this time and you learn the other signs and there you go. But yeah,
so many people use those app trackers now just for their cycle to begin with. And it's built right in there that says, this is when you should be. I mean, and that's
for most people, that's enough. Exactly.
Yeah. But right. Like they're not having any issues yet. Don't want them to have any issues. Can we just have someone just get pregnant and be fine?
Right.
So,
I'm with Chase. I hope they get to.
But they're not going to know tomorrow. So it doesn't matter. He's like, can we just have fun tonight and get the calendar tomorrow? I'm like, you're not going to know. You're not going to wake up and go, that worked.
Right. So just take your vitamins, Brooklyn. That's all you need to worry about right now. Drink lots of water and take your vitamins and keep your body in tip-top shape.
I wonder if she knows something, though, about herself that
maybe
has not been thought of or has been made because she, I don't know. I don't know where I was just going with that, but I was just thinking like maybe she does know something because wasn't she just talking about something with Lois not too long ago? And we felt like there was something she was hiding.
Maybe.
Okay. I might be mushing things together.
I just don't remember her saying anything that gave real clarity. And again, this is one of those topics where it is pretty yes or no. Like if you have gone to the doctor and they've told you that something's wrong and you're going to have fertility issues, they like steer you in the right direction. You're not still doing Google searches then for information. Like you have this is the path you need to follow. And it's a definite, you're going to need medical intervention or you're not.
Right.
Not that that's always true. I mean, miracles happen, but they put you one way or the other. And so she's still very vague. I don't know. But I do hope for storyline's sake that 3 months from now, all of a sudden she thinks she has a cold because it's the dead of winter and it turns out, oh no, it worked. And now we're going to have a baby Brooklyn. So I would like that, especially if she could announce it some way cute, like into the new year or something. Oh my gosh, that would be adorable.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I really don't think that there was anything else.
I don't think so.
I mean, in one way, I'm kind of glad there's not a lot going on for us to.
Right. It would feel kind of inappropriate if they were doing 10 other storylines on top of this because this should be the focal point, but it really is the focal point. There's not much else to talk about.
Right. Just doing a quick skim. Yeah.
Alrighty. Reality check. And then how was your week?
It's okay. Found out that program that the person messed up a referral for changed their mind miraculously, and now I know. And now my daughter's going
you started asking questions.
I know, it's crazy how that happens. Turns out that updated notes and more specifically a certain report update from a pretty key player in my daughter's services was not included in the original referral. So they called me on Thursday and she's going next Sunday. So I have no time for prep. Yay!
You have a whole week to prepare for this. Woo!
I know. And then JD and I went out to dinner with friends of ours that we haven't seen since their wedding last October. So that was nice that we finally were able to get together. Like, that was nice. And we hardly ever, so my daughter was home with us this weekend, and we hardly ever find someone to stay with her. We just, thankfully, our friends live in the same town that his parents do. And
Oh,
so
nice.
when they suggested a certain restaurant, I was like, oh, my in-laws live like 5 minutes down the road. Let's see if they can watch her. So she hung out with them for the night and we had a good time. And then she and I went to our church's women's conference yesterday. And so that was nice.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. How about you? Like, that's really it.
My week was pretty boring. Madeline's excited because she got glasses when she was real little because she had a lazy eye, and they said that it may come a point where she doesn't need glasses because her vision isn't bad enough and her lazy eye is good enough that she doesn't have to wear them anymore. I was skeptical that was ever going to happen because I have like the worst vision in the entire world. And so we went to the eye doctor this week, and she was talking about, was she old enough for contacts and all that kind of stuff. And luckily they told her that she is indeed at the point where she does not have to wear glasses if she does not want them. And
Nice.
so I let her pick out a pair, and just so that she has them. Like, normally I do the transition lenses and all that kind of stuff because her eyes are like super sensitive and blah, blah, blah. And so I just stuck with like the regular basic add-ons instead of doing the extra. It's just so that she has it in case like a teacher writes super small on the board or something like that. But her prescription is like nothing. And I was like, then no one will yell at you to wear your glasses. But if you do need your glasses, you have a pair that you can put on that's the newest prescription. So she was excited about that. Picking out new glasses is always fun. And then we had a cat emergency. One of our cats, we have one of those containers that you like dump their food in to like seal it so that it's fresh or whatever, so that it's not in the bag.
Okay.
I have no idea how, but one of our cats managed to get in there and get themselves trapped in there for like the day because Ryan was at work and I was gone and Emily was gone and whatever. And so we came home and we heard a cat crying, and I just thought it was Ryan's cat that we keep on our own because she doesn't like anybody, has not been spayed. So she goes into heat and then she cries for attention. And so I heard the cat crying and I was like, is that your cat? Like in heat again? It feels like it shouldn't be that time or whatever. And so he ended up investigating and found our poor cat stuck in the food bin, all dehydrated and crying because he had been stuck in the thing all day. So we had to make a emergency trip to the outrageously expensive emergency vet to get him some IV fluids to get him to feel better. So he's doing okay. He's resting, traumatized some. Still won't go towards the food container at all.
I was just thinking, I'm like, so is he eating though? Because I could see where that would be like a...
He's eaten. We've given him like treats and stuff just to make sure that he's getting enough food to keep his energy up, and he will eat those. But he has not eaten food from that particular container. So we may be changing cat food for him pretty soon. I don't know. But
poor baby.
It was just one of those things. Like, how the heck does that even happen? Like, we scoop the food and we shut it every day. There's no way that any of us shut it with him in it. Like, it's not that huge of a container. It's like a small garbage can size. So it's not like any of us shut it with him. So must have just thought that we like slammed the flap shut as we walked out, and we didn't, and he jumped in, and then one of the other cats managed to knock it down or something. I don't know.
Hey, you need to get yourself a nanny cam.
Exactly. I'm like, hey,
see what
Michael,
these cats are doing to each other.
Can I borrow that bear? But yeah, luckily he will be okay. But Ryan tends to freak out more than I do. I think it's just a mom thing of having dealt with kids that you like pull yourself into that, okay, what do we need to do next mindset? You don't have, you're not allowed to freak out yet. And so he's like, oh my God. I'm like, calm down. Okay. The cat's dehydrated. We need to go to the vet and get him taken care of. And of course, those vets, I feel like, they want to diagnose every issue they could possibly think of. And so they're like, well, we can do x-rays and we can do this and we can do that. It'll only be like $3,000. And I was like, oh, heck no, we're not doing all that. Give the cat some IV fluid. He's dehydrated. Like, It's not like we came home and he was acting weird and now suddenly we have no idea what's wrong with him and he could have some major health concern. Like, I know exactly what happened. So let's fix that issue and let everything else be how it is.
Right.
So, but yeah, so his one little paw is all shaved down from where they had to put the IV in and stuff. So it's
poor baby.
Cute little pathetic cat. But yeah, so that was my exciting Friday night, spending the night at the vet's office.
Well, that's fun.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
All right. Well, join us on Thursday as we continue talking about Lucky and Liz.
As Shannon's face lights up again as she says his name. Have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.